everybody, I'm David Ellefson. Welcome to the Rock Shop. If you've been following the last few episodes, we just got done talking about practicing and how practicing is really a discipline, mostly something that we do on our own so that we can improve our skills as a player. Today I want to talk about the art of auditioning, because it really is an art, and especially if you think of an audition, it's a job interview is what it is. We show up with our instrument, we're prepared to lay our skills out and hopefully land the gig. Whether it's a session, recording session, or if it's a live performance. Really three things is, there's the preparation to the audition, there's the day of the audition and actually doing it, and then there's, of course, the follow-up. 9 times out of 10, usually when you're going to audition, most people will give you an indication of which songs they would like you to learn. I think being prepared to learn as much about what you're walking into, to me, helps you show up at the audition with your head in the game as far as being a player and not having to get distracted with a bunch of the unknown. So I try to take all of the unknown out of it. Some auditions are what they call cattle call, where they want to just rifle as many people through, maybe 20, 50, 100 people, in hopes that they'll find something, kind of American Idol style. They'll find something and then they'll do callbacks and then they'll narrow that down and then they'll do callbacks and narrow that down. Those type of auditions are maybe, as like 1 to 3 songs you might need to learn. If you have been given the call or you've received the call, you might be asked to learn maybe 5 songs. In some situations, you may be rolling in and saying, hey, here's the set list. We'll see you next Friday. Learn all the songs. In either case, let's say you're asked to learn 5 songs. Do yourself a favor. Learn 6, 7, or 8 songs. Know a few more than the absolute necessity for the audition. If the audition starts going well, it's always nice to have 1 or 2 extras. If they say, hey, what else do you know? Hey, how about this one? Bang, and you can roll into it. Because all of a sudden, I've seen auditions basically turn into, okay, the band's kind of given the high sign, like, okay, this is the guy. And next thing you know, the audition turns into basically a glorified rehearsal. Another thing, too, is do some research on the artist or the situation you're walking into. If it's an original artist, learn the discography. Learn a few of the other songs from that discography. Don't just learn the very basic, amount needed to land the audition. Learn what they wear. What's their culture? What do they dress? It's probably worth going out, spending a little bit of money, maybe buying some new duds if you don't have something that's kind of like what they're doing. Walking in, again, first impressions mean a lot. So if you show up looking the part, it could be a haircut, could be black fingernail polish, whatever. But, you decide how far you want to go with that. But at least showing up, showing that you're willing to step up and be a part of their team, because you're really there to serve them, not you. Know the names of the members. Usually oftentimes there's a manager involved. Usually every band has a point guy as the band leader, so find out kind of where the power lies within the organization. And also when you show up to the audition, sometimes it's worth hiring or at least borrowing a friend to be your roadie for the day. Have someone so that when you show up, you got someone else to load your gear in, set your stuff up. Make sure, of course, your gear is working in tip-top shape. Make sure your cables are good, your batteries are fresh. Make sure your strings, your drum heads, whatever, they're changed, they're tuned, they're new. Make sure your gear is together and you're ready to show up and play. And that's why I think having a tech or a roadie of some sort, or a friend to at least help get the gear in, set it up, so you can at least roll in with your head in the game and be focused on being the player. Once you're in the room playing, I find it's nice to kind of find out who's the guy calling the shots. Is the drummer the guy I need to be focused on? Is he the one calling the tunes? Is it the singer? Is it the guitar player? Who's kind of running the audition here? And just as a player, it's nice to kind of chummy up to them and get a read on what's happening. Because usually once you count off the song and you're into it, it's showtime. And usually most auditions are not just about the musical performance. They're also about what do you look like? Are you going to be comfortable on stage? Is there something that looks good, together? Also, on an audition, I find do your playing. Don't do so much talking. Show up. Be willing to to not try to take over and run the room. People like to know that you're going to come in and be part of their organization, not come in and try to take over, at least in most situations. After the experience is over, there's usually going to be some sort of a callback. Make sure you get a phone number. You get an email, look people in the eye, shake hands, be pleasant, cordial, whatever the situation may require. Again, if there's a manager there, make sure that you exchange information and find out what the callback process is going to be. Do you need to call them? Are they going to call you? And then just make sure that before you leave, you've got some method to do a sort of a follow-up. So, again, auditions can be a very fun and can be a frightening experience. So overall, it's mostly about trying to be prepared as much as possible to take all the unknowns out of it, so you can show up and do your part and hopefully land the gig. So good luck with that. If you want to get me on email, you can give me rockshop@davidellefson.com. See you next time.